Imagine this: a fortified city, walls towering above the desert floor, an army that doesn't attack, it marches. 7 days, trumpets, silence. Then a shout, and the walls collapse. Not cracked, not breached, flattened. Sounds like legend, right? But what if the dirt tells a different story? Today, we're investigating Jericho, the first city conquered in the Promised Land, and the growing body of archaeological evidence that may match Joshua 6 with unsettling precision. This isn't Sunday school. This is soil, stone, fire layers, and controversy. Around 1400 BC, according to the biblical timeline, Joshua leads Israel into Canaan. Jericho wasn't a village, it was a fortress. Archaeology reveals massive defensive systems, a stone retaining wall topped with mud brick fortifications. Some estimates suggest walls up to 13 feet high, reinforced and battle-ready. But here's the twist. The Bible in Joshua 6 doesn't describe a siege. No ladders, no rams, no scaling towers, just marching, trumpets, and faith. The text says the walls fell flat. For decades, critics dismissed this. In the 1950s, British archaeologist Kathleen Kenyon dated Jericho's destruction to around 1550 BC, more than a century before Joshua would have arrived. Case closed, they said. But archaeology doesn't sit still. Earlier excavator John Garstang had dated the destruction closer to 1400 BC. His conclusions were largely overshadowed. Fast forward to modern excavations led by Lorenzo Negro and teams from Sapienza University of Rome. Their findings? Late Bronze Age fortifications, collapsed mud brick walls, and here's the critical detail. The walls appear to have fallen outward, not inward, as you'd expect from an invading force, outward, which would have created ramps, allowing attackers to rush straight in, exactly as Joshua 6 describes. Then there's the burn layer. Archaeologists uncovered thick ash deposits, evidence of a massive city-wide fire. Joshua 6:24 states the city was burned. And it gets even more interesting. Large storage jars filled with grain were discovered, scorched but untouched. In ancient warfare, grain was the prize. Armies didn't leave it behind, unless they weren't allowed to take it, or unless the conquest happened quickly, during harvest season, leaving no time for prolonged siege or looting. Joshua 5 places Israel in Jericho at Passover, springtime. The timing aligns. Some researchers even suggest seismic activity may have contributed to the collapse, an earthquake triggered at the precise moment trumpets sounded. Coincidence or convergence? Scholars like Bryant G. Wood argue the destruction layer aligns closely with a 1400 BC date, consistent with the biblical chronology derived from 1 Kings 6 verse 1. And then there's Rahab. The Bible describes her house built into the city wall, spared when the rest fell. Excavations show residential structures integrated into the fortification system, a detail once mocked, now harder to dismiss. From Garstang's early digs to modern Italian-Palestinian teams, Jericho continues to spark debate. But one thing is certain, the ruins are talking. The question is, are we listening? Jericho isn't just a children's story. It's one of the most contested archaeological battlegrounds in biblical history. Did the walls really fall? The dirt says something happened. You decide what it means. If this episode challenged what you thought you knew, hit like, subscribe, and drop a comment. Is Jericho proof of divine intervention or ancient coincidence? This is Bible's Buried Proof, and we're just getting started.